Iowa, located right in the heart of the United States. But does anyone know what actually happens there? 85% of the land in Iowa is used for agriculture, ranking the state as the #1 producer of corn, soybeans, hogs, and eggs. There are 24.6 million pigs on Iowa farms, meaning for every Iowa resident, there are 8 pigs. Out of the 947 cities in the state, 75% have a population of less than 1,000 residents, and 50% have less than 500, with the smallest being home to just 11 people. But recently, an outbreak has spread rapidly across this quaint, rural state. Something no Iowan could have ever predicted. Pickleball was invented in 1965 by Joel Pritchard using table tennis paddles, a badminton net, and a wiffle ball. Like other racket sports, pickleball can be played as either a singles or a doubles match. To start the game, a player must serve from behind the boundaries of the court, which is commonly 44 by 20 feet and separated by a net 34 inches high. Players take turns rallying the ball back and forth, allowing at most one bounce on their side. The 7-foot area on either side of the net is known as the kitchen, a no-volley zone, where players are only allowed to enter if the ball has bounced inside of its boundaries. To win a rally, an opposing player must fail to return the ball inbounds or after a single bounce. The rally winner serves next, but only the serving player or team can score a point. The first to 11 points wins the game, and the best of 3 games wins the match.
So I started when I was 10 years old, actually. My mom brought me out to the courts one time, and I was just like, this seems pretty cool. So I got a paddle, started playing, and I've been hooked ever since.
We actually started in February of 2017, so we've now been playing for 9 years. We were working out at the Cedar Falls Rec Center, walking around the upper track, and saw a friend of ours down playing pickleball, and so we joined the group, and now it's history.
I went to the Cedar Falls Rec Center, and I saw people playing. I heard people playing in the gym, and I just looked in, and they invited me to start playing with them, and I've been playing ever since.
The first time down in Florida with my parents in their retirement community. And whenever my dad told me about it, I was like, okay, great, a sport for old people, okay. Ended up falling in love with it, having a great time, coming back here, finding other great people to play with.
My first impression was just it was fun. Everyone was so welcoming, the community around it. You know, I showed up to a court and there was, 10 guys, all 20 years older than me, and they were all just so welcoming, like, hey, yeah, let's play for hours, and invited me back pretty much every single day. And so the community around it, I feel like you can go anywhere, like move anywhere, go to visit any city, go to the pickleball courts, and there's going to be people there that want you to hop in and play.
And it just seemed fun. The people seemed fun. And unlike most sports, there's just a lot of laughter and a lot of running around and being crazy and silly.
Once we started going, we just felt immediately welcome and part of the group. So over the years, this is our community, our social community, our support community, and that's one of the great benefits of pickleball.
We have 16 dedicated pickleball courts now at Orchard Hill Park, and a lot of that was due to the fundraising efforts through the Pickleball Club and the Community Foundation. We went out and raised about $500,000 to help build those 2 pads of 8 courts apiece.
A lot of pickleball players have a very welcoming attitude towards new players. I know a lot of the different clubs and leagues that are around here have nights specifically for beginning players, giving them lessons, helping them get their feet under them in the game. And so there's just a culture of that, I think, in the sport that's not really as present in other sports. You don't have to be that athletic to play it. I mean, I'm an academic. No one's accused me of being the peak male athletic form, and yet I get to come out here and have a lot of fun and play and play hard, and it's good. It's a good sport for that.
As pickleball has grown in popularity due to the accessible nature, friendly community, and active fun, it's become a major cash cow for businesses who have capitalized on the sport. Pickle Palace in downtown Cedar Rapids has combined pickleball with an all-in-one social and entertainment venue including indoor and outdoor courts, a restaurant and bar, duckpin bowling, a rooftop pub, and their own pickleball and merchandise store. People of all ages choose Pickle Palace to host their special events and parties, proving the undeniable appeal of pickleball. But not all pickleball players are interested in the luxuries of Pickle Palace. A few miles outside the small town of Dyke, local players meet every day before work to play at the only indoor court in the area. The giant garage holds one court, but gets used by 8 to 12 dedicated players every day. Although they are friendly, they aren't there to socialize. Their sole purpose is to play as many competitive games as possible. Many of the garage's visitors are serious players who live and breathe the sport, and even compete in tournaments throughout the state.
So I've competed in a lot of tournaments. They're really, really fun. The atmosphere is unlike any other. You know, you're ready, you're rearing to go, everybody else is there to beat you, so you're also there to beat everybody, so that's just a lot of fun.
So I like playing here in the Cedar Valley. There's a lot of tournaments that are going on. The Cedar Falls Pickleball Club has started to put on a really big tournament every summer. And there's all sorts of other tournaments that are always going on here in the area.
So I own World of Pickleball, own and operate World of Pickleball. We're actually a nationwide tour. I started it in 2022. It was when COVID hit, so it had sent me home from university, and I was looking for other ways to make money online. So it actually started as just an online store, selling paddles, selling merchandise, athletic wear, and then we got into the tournament world. I started playing competitively myself and said, there's room here for growth in tournaments to provide this opportunity to more people around the country. From there, we just kept growing. First year was Midwest, so Omaha, Chicago, Cincinnati, Des Moines, etc. And then the second year we went to Washington, Florida, Arizona, and this year we have 25 different cities that we'll be hitting. The love for the game is huge, not just from me, but from everywhere. Seeing all those people come together, all laughs, all smiles. Obviously, there's some serious competitive moments, but most people are very into their rating. When they go to tournaments, it's for their rating. When you're playing with families and friends, it's just for fun, it's just open play. But when you get to a tournament, you know, you could drop from a 4.5 to a 3.5 over the course of a weekend.
The rating system is housed by a company called Duper, and so they give people a rating so that way people are playing people who are sort of in their skill range. And so you have everything from 3.0, which means that you know what the game is, you might know the basics of the rules, all the way up to 6.0, 6.5, 7.0, which is where the pro players are, like Ben Johns or Annalie Waters.
But in a normal tournament, you're looking at, you know, a 3.0 division, a 3.5 division, a 4.0 division. And so, for example, if you're a 3.5 division, you can't play in it if you're above a 3.99.
Whenever you play in tournaments, the tournament director might have an account with Duper. And so your win-loss record and the points that you scored in those games gets uploaded to the website, and then there's an algorithm that rates everything based on how much you won by, how many times you've won, how many times your opponent won before that. And so a lot of those tournament directors are starting to upload those scores to the Duper system, and it's giving us a better idea of what our competition looks like and allows us to have better games in our tournaments.
There can be discrepancies there on how tournaments are doing it. A big thing in the beginning was sandbagging. You would see a lot of players play lower because they can. So having Duper as a restriction to not allow players to do that is definitely important to maintaining a healthy and safe environment, but also a competitive environment.
I'm hoping for maybe not this next Summer Olympics, but the one after that. We can get pickleball in there, and then hopefully, you know, I'll be able to compete someday. At first, you know, I have to get on the professional tour at some point, but, you know, eventually I'd like to at least try my hand in Olympics or professional pickleball.
My hope is that it goes global. I mean, it's getting huge in India, it's getting huge in Malaysia.
It is a worldwide thing. There's people playing all over the world.
There was a time when people were saying pickleball is just a flash in the pan. It's the latest fad. It's going to be here and gone. And I think we're beyond that now.
If you go on Facebook, for example, there's hundreds, if not thousands of Facebook groups with thousands of members of just players talking about pickleball, talking about their community.
I'm sure that people think that it's a sport for older people and it's only something you can play when you're retired.
Certainly my misconception was that it's just it's a very slow, laid-back game for people who are retired. 20-year-olds and young and 30-year-old men walk out there, and the next thing they know, they're getting their butts handed to them by some 65-year-old woman who's been playing for 3 or 4 years and knows her game. And so it's a really fun game for that reason.
You can go on court and make best friends with a 70-year-old woman as a 25-year-old. There's no age gaps. I mean, anyone can be friends with anybody.
The skill set that's required to be good in it is something that's open to anyone in all ages, and you can find really good games with people of all ages and all ranges.
I think that once people start playing, then they quickly can overcome those misperceptions and just enjoy the sport for what it is. You know, we don't take ourselves very seriously. We just like to go out there and have fun.
Corn, pigs, and small towns. That's what people think when they think of Iowa. It may never be known for pickleball, but it's undoubtedly grown to be a favorite pastime for people across the state. And it seems it will only continue to grow. Who knows? Maybe it will become your new favorite activity.